Picture this: a young girl from New York, sitting at a piano, rejected by record labels, told she wasn't pretty enough, wasn't mainstream enough, wasn't what the industry wanted. Fast forward 15 years, and that same woman has sold over 76 million records worldwide, won 13 Grammy Awards, and transformed from Stefani Germanotta into one of the most powerful forces in entertainment history. But here's what will shock you. Every single step of her meteoric rise followed a blueprint written decades before she was even born. What if I told you that Lady Gaga unconsciously applied the exact same principles that Napoleon Hill revealed in his groundbreaking work on success psychology? What if her seemingly spontaneous journey to stardom was actually a perfect case study of timeless success principles in action? The coincidences are so precise, so methodical, that they reveal something profound about the universal laws that govern achievement and transformation. Tonight, we're diving deep into a mystery that connects the dots between a coal miner's son, who interviewed 500 of the world's most successful people, and a pop icon who redefined what it means to be an artist in the 21st century. You're about to discover how Gaga's most controversial decisions, her boldest creative choices, and even her darkest moments were unconscious applications of success principles that most people never learn. This isn't just another celebrity success story. This is a masterclass in how certain universal laws operate, whether we're aware of them or not. By the end of this journey, you'll understand why Gaga's path to stardom was inevitable, why her methods work for anyone willing to apply them, and most importantly, how you can harness these same forces in your own life. Prepare to see Lady Gaga in a completely different light, and prepare to discover that the secrets to extraordinary achievement have been hiding in plain sight all along. The transformation you're about to witness will challenge everything you thought you knew about success, creativity, and the power of the human mind to reshape reality itself. Lady Gaga's transformation began with something Napoleon Hill identified as the cornerstone of all achievement, a burning, definite purpose that consumed her entire being. When Stefani Germanotta decided she would become a global superstar, it wasn't a casual dream or a hopeful wish. It was a declaration of war against mediocrity, a line drawn in the sand of her consciousness that would reshape every decision, every relationship, and every moment of her existence moving forward. Hill discovered through his extensive research that every person who achieved extraordinary success possessed this same quality, a definiteness of purpose so intense that it became the organizing principle of their entire life. Gaga embodied this principle with frightening precision. She didn't just want to be famous. She wanted to revolutionize how the world understood art, performance, and human expression. This wasn't ambition. It was a mission that demanded everything she had to give. The moment Gaga made this internal commitment, something powerful shifted in her reality. She began attracting opportunities, people, and circumstances that aligned with her definite purpose. Record executives who had initially rejected her started taking notice. Producers who wouldn't return her calls suddenly became interested. This wasn't luck. It was the natural consequence of a mind that had become magnetically focused on a specific outcome. What most people don't understand is that a definite purpose acts like a filter, screening out distractions and illuminating paths that were previously invisible. Gaga's unwavering commitment to her artistic vision created a kind of tunnel vision that allowed her to see opportunities others missed and pursue them with laser-like intensity. Every costume choice, every song lyric, every public appearance became a calculated step toward her ultimate goal. Hill taught that the mind, when focused with definite purpose, becomes incredibly resourceful and begins to organize all available resources toward the achievement of that purpose. Gaga's early career perfectly illustrates this principle. She transformed her limitations into advantages, her rejections into fuel, and her uniqueness into her greatest asset. The very qualities that made her unmarketable in traditional terms became the foundation of her unprecedented success. The power of definite purpose isn't just about knowing what you want. It's about wanting it with such intensity that your entire being reorganizes itself around that desire. Gaga didn't just decide to become famous. She became fame itself, embodying every aspect of what she wanted to achieve until the line between her identity and her purpose completely disappeared. This level of commitment creates what Hill called definiteness of purpose, a state of mind so focused and determined that it literally reshapes reality to accommodate its demands. Gaga's transformation from unknown artist to global phenomenon wasn't just about talent or luck. It was about the tremendous power that gets unleashed when a human being aligns every fiber of their being with a single, burning purpose. Behind every great achievement, Napoleon Hill discovered, lies a carefully constructed network of like-minded individuals working in harmony toward a common goal. Lady Gaga's rise to superstardom perfectly demonstrates this principle through the strategic alliances she formed throughout her career. Her mastermind wasn't accidental. It was a carefully orchestrated symphony of talent, each member contributing their unique gifts to amplify her vision. Her partnership with producer Redone became the creative engine that powered her early hits, transforming her artistic vision into chart-topping reality. But this wasn't just a business relationship. It was a meeting of minds that created something neither could have achieved alone. Redone brought technical expertise and industry knowledge, while Gaga contributed raw creativity and an uncompromising artistic vision. Together, they formed a mastermind alliance that redefined pop music. The genius of Gaga's approach lay in her ability to attract and retain collaborators who shared her commitment to pushing boundaries. Her team wasn't just hired help. They were true believers in her mission who brought their own expertise and passion to the collective effort. This created what Hill identified as the most powerful force in human achievement. Multiple minds working in complete harmony toward a shared objective. Her relationship with Tony Bennett exemplified another dimension of the mastermind principle. By aligning herself with a legendary artist who represented everything she aspired to achieve in terms of artistic credibility and longevity, Gaga didn't just gain a collaborator. She gained access to decades of wisdom, experience, and industry connections that would have taken her years to develop independently. What most people fail to understand about mastermind alliances is that they're not about using other people. They're about creating mutually beneficial relationships where everyone's success is interconnected. Gaga's team succeeded because her success was their success, and vice versa. This created a powerful motivation for everyone involved to contribute their absolute best efforts to the collective vision. The mastermind principle also explains why Gaga's career has shown such remarkable longevity and evolution. As her goals and artistic vision have evolved, so has her mastermind alliance. She's continuously attracted new collaborators who bring fresh perspectives and skills that align with her current objectives, from film directors to jazz musicians to fashion designers. Hill emphasized that mastermind alliances must be built on complete honesty, mutual respect, and shared commitment to the group's objectives. Gaga's ability to maintain long-term relationships with key collaborators while continuously expanding her network demonstrates her intuitive understanding of these principles. Her mastermind became a living, breathing organism that grew and adapted as her career evolved. The third pillar of Lady Gaga's unconscious application of Napoleon Hill's principles reveals itself in her demonstration of what Hill called applied faith, the kind of unwavering belief that transforms impossibility into inevitability. When Gaga stepped onto stages wearing meat dresses, arrived at award shows in giant eggs, or made artistic choices that baffled industry experts, she wasn't just seeking attention. She was demonstrating a level of faith in her vision that most people never develop. Hill discovered that applied faith differs fundamentally from passive hope or wishful thinking. Applied faith is belief backed by action, conviction demonstrated through consistent behavior, and confidence that persists despite external evidence to the contrary. Gaga's entire career has been a masterclass in this principle, as she repeatedly made choices that seemed commercially risky but ultimately proved to be strokes of genius. Consider her decision to embrace controversy and theatrical elements that many advised against. Industry professionals told her to tone down her image, to be more conventional, to follow proven formulas for success. Instead, she doubled down on her unique artistic vision, demonstrating the kind of faith that Hill identified as essential for breakthrough achievement. She believed in her approach with such intensity that she was willing to risk everything to prove it would work. This unwavering belief created what psychologists call a self-fulfilling prophecy. Her absolute confidence in her artistic choices influenced how others perceived and responded to them. When someone believes in something with total conviction, that conviction becomes contagious, influencing fans, critics, and industry professionals to see possibilities they might otherwise have missed. Gaga's faith wasn't blind or irrational. It was based on a deep understanding of her own talents and an intuitive grasp of what audiences were hungry for, even if they didn't know it themselves. This combination of self-knowledge and market insight, backed by unshakable faith, created the perfect conditions for revolutionary success. The power of applied faith also manifested in how Gaga handled setbacks and criticism. Instead of allowing negative feedback to undermine her confidence, she used it as fuel to strengthen her resolve. Each rejection became proof that she was onto something truly original, each criticism confirmation that she was pushing boundaries in exactly the right way. Hill taught that applied faith must be continuously reinforced through positive self-talk, visualization, and consistent action aligned with one's beliefs. Gaga's public persona, her artistic choices, and her unwavering commitment to her vision all demonstrate her unconscious mastery of these techniques. She didn't just believe in her success, she lived as if it were already an accomplished fact. Lady Gaga's career trajectory reveals a sophisticated understanding of what Napoleon Hill called organized planning, the systematic approach to transforming desires into concrete achievements through strategic action. While her artistic expression appeared spontaneous and rebellious, the business strategy behind her success demonstrated meticulous planning and tactical brilliance that most entrepreneurs would envy. Her debut album, The Fame, wasn't just a collection of songs. It was a carefully orchestrated campaign designed to establish her unique position in the entertainment landscape. Every track served a specific purpose in building her brand narrative, from the infectious hooks that guaranteed radio play to the provocative themes that sparked conversation and controversy. This wasn't accidental. It was the result of strategic thinking that considered both immediate impact and long-term career positioning. The genius of Gaga's approach lay in her ability to create what Hill called definite plans, while maintaining the flexibility to adapt those plans as circumstances changed. When the music industry was struggling with declining album sales, she pivoted to focus on live performances and visual spectacle, turning concerts into theatrical experiences that couldn't be replicated through illegal downloads. Her expansion into acting, fashion, and business ventures demonstrates another aspect of organized planning: the systematic diversification of income streams and the development of multiple platforms for expressing her artistic vision. Each new venture built upon her previous successes while opening new possibilities for growth and influence. What sets Gaga apart from many artists is her understanding that success requires both creative inspiration and business acumen. She surrounded herself with advisors and team members who could help translate her artistic vision into commercially viable products and experiences. This balance between creativity and strategy reflects Hill's teaching that successful people must be both dreamers and practical planners. Her use of social media as a tool for building direct relationships with fans exemplifies modern, organized planning. Rather than relying solely on traditional media gatekeepers, she created her own channels for communication and engagement, building a loyal fan base that would support her through various career transitions and creative experiments. The long-term nature of Gaga's planning becomes evident when you examine how each phase of her career has prepared her for the next. Her pop music success provided the platform and resources necessary for her jazz collaborations with Tony Bennett, which in turn enhanced her credibility as a serious artist and prepared audiences for her dramatic work in films like A Star is Born. Napoleon Hill identified the mastery of emotions as one of the most critical factors distinguishing successful individuals from those who struggle to achieve their goals. Lady Gaga's career provides a stunning example of someone who learned to harness the power of emotion, both her own and her audience's, as a driving force for unprecedented success. Her ability to channel personal pain, trauma, and struggle into artistic fuel demonstrates what Hill called transmutation of emotion, the process of converting negative emotional energy into positive, productive action. Songs like Till It Happens to You and Joanne reveal an artist who has learned to transform her deepest wounds into sources of creative power and authentic connection with others. Gaga's emotional authenticity creates what psychologists call emotional contagion, the phenomenon where one person's emotions influence and spread to others. When she performs, audiences don't just hear music. They experience the full range of human emotion channeled through her artistic expression. This emotional transmission creates the deep bonds between artist and audience that generate lasting success. Her openness about mental health struggles, personal relationships, and family dynamics breaks down the traditional barriers between celebrity and audience, creating intimate connections that transcend typical fan relationships. This vulnerability, rather than weakening her position, has become one of her greatest sources of strength and influence. Hill taught that emotions, when properly channeled, become the fuel that powers persistent action toward one's goals. Gaga's career demonstrates this principle through her ability to maintain creative output and professional momentum even during periods of personal difficulty. Her emotions don't derail her progress. They provide the raw material for her most powerful artistic expressions. The strategic use of emotional contrast in her work, combining vulnerability with strength, darkness with light, pain with celebration, creates the kind of dynamic tension that keeps audiences engaged and emotionally invested. This isn't manipulation. It's the sophisticated understanding of human psychology that Hill identified as essential for anyone seeking to influence and inspire others. Her evolution from the emotional rawness of her early work to the refined emotional intelligence displayed in recent projects shows an artist who has learned to master her emotional life while maintaining access to its power. This balance between emotional availability and emotional control represents the highest level of what Hill called emotional maturity. The principle that Napoleon Hill considered most crucial for long-term success was persistence, the ability to maintain effort and enthusiasm despite obstacles, setbacks, and temporary defeats. Lady Gaga's journey from unknown artist to global superstar provides a masterclass in this principle, demonstrating how persistence transforms ordinary talent into extraordinary achievement. Her early years in New York's music scene were marked by countless rejections, failed auditions, and industry professionals who couldn't understand or appreciate her unique artistic vision. Lesser artists might have modified their approach to fit industry expectations, but Gaga demonstrated the kind of persistence that Hill identified as the hallmark of eventual success. She refused to compromise her artistic integrity, choosing to persist with her original vision rather than conform to others' limitations. The criticism and controversy that surrounded her early career could have derailed a less persistent individual. Instead, Gaga used negative feedback as motivation to refine her craft and strengthen her resolve. Each setback became a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block, demonstrating the kind of mental resilience that Hill found in every successful person he studied. Her ability to reinvent herself artistically while maintaining core elements of her identity shows sophisticated understanding of how persistence must be balanced with adaptability. She persisted in her commitment to artistic excellence and authentic self-expression, while adapting her methods and approaches as she gained experience and wisdom. The physical and emotional toll of her career, including chronic pain, exhaustion, and the pressures of constant public scrutiny, might have forced others to retreat or reduce their ambitions. Gaga's response has been to persist not just in her career pursuits, but in her commitment to using her platform for positive social impact and artistic innovation. Her persistence extends beyond personal success to include her advocacy for causes she believes in, from LGBTQ+ rights to mental health awareness. This demonstrates Hill's teaching that true persistence is driven by purposes larger than personal gain, creating the sustained motivation necessary for long-term achievement. The compound effect of Gaga's persistence becomes evident when examining the trajectory of her entire career. Each project, each collaboration, each creative risk has built upon previous efforts, creating a body of work and a level of influence that would have been impossible without the consistent application of persistent effort over many years. The final principle that Lady Gaga has unconsciously mastered aligns with what Napoleon Hill called the law of compensation, the universal principle that ensures individuals ultimately receive rewards equivalent to the value they provide to others. Gaga's extraordinary success becomes perfectly logical when viewed through this lens, as her achievements directly reflect the tremendous value she has created for millions of fans worldwide. Her willingness to be vulnerable and authentic in her artistic expression has provided countless individuals with permission to embrace their own uniqueness and authenticity. The emotional healing and inspiration she has provided through her music and public advocacy creates value that extends far beyond entertainment, touching lives and changing perspectives on a global scale. The law of compensation operates not just through direct financial returns, but through the accumulation of goodwill, influence, and opportunities that result from consistent value creation. Gaga's expanding opportunities in film, fashion, business, and philanthropy reflect the compound effect of years spent providing genuine value to audiences and collaborators. Her commitment to using her platform for social good demonstrates understanding of how the law of compensation creates self-reinforcing cycles of success. By advocating for marginalized communities and important causes, she has earned respect and loyalty that transcends typical celebrity relationships, creating a foundation for sustained influence and impact. The diversity of her achievements, from Grammy Awards to Academy Award nominations to successful business ventures, illustrates how the law of compensation operates across multiple dimensions. Value creation in one area generates opportunities and resources that enable value creation in other areas, leading to exponential rather than linear growth. Her collaboration with other artists and her mentorship of emerging talent shows sophisticated understanding of how compensation can be multiplied through partnership and legacy building. By investing in others' success, She has created networks of reciprocal value that enhance her own opportunities and influence. Hill taught that the law of compensation is precise and inevitable. Those who provide exceptional value will ultimately receive exceptional rewards, while those who provide minimal value will receive minimal compensation. Gaga's trajectory from struggling artist to global icon perfectly demonstrates this principle in action, showing how consistent value creation inevitably leads to proportional success and recognition. As we reach the end of this journey through the hidden connections between Lady Gaga's success and Napoleon Hill's timeless principles, a profound truth emerges from the shadows. The same laws that govern the achievements of steel magnates and oil barons in Hill's era continue to shape the destinies of artists and innovators in our digital age. Gaga's unconscious mastery of these principles reveals something extraordinary about the nature of success itself. It follows patterns that transcend time, industry, and individual circumstances. What makes Gaga's story so compelling isn't just her individual achievement, but what it represents for anyone willing to understand and apply these universal laws. Her journey from rejection to global influence demonstrates that these principles aren't reserved for a chosen few. They're available to anyone with the courage to embrace them fully. The same definite purpose that transforms Stefani Germanotta into Lady Gaga can transform your own dreams into reality, if you're willing to commit with the same intensity and unwavering faith. The mastermind alliances, the applied faith, the organized planning, the emotional mastery, the persistence through adversity, and the law of compensation, these aren't just abstract concepts or historical curiosities. They're active forces operating in your life right now, waiting to be recognized, understood, and harnessed. Gaga's story proves that these principles work whether you're conscious of them or not. But imagine what becomes possible when you apply them with full awareness and intention. Perhaps the most remarkable revelation is that Gaga's seemingly radical approach to her career wasn't radical at all. It was the natural expression of timeless success principles in a modern context. Her willingness to be different, to persist through criticism, to maintain unwavering faith in her vision, and to provide genuine value to her audience represents the same fundamental approach that has driven human achievement throughout history. The question that remains is not whether these principles work. Gaga's extraordinary success provides undeniable proof of their power. The question is whether you're ready to stop living as a spectator to others' success and start applying these same forces in your own life. The choice, as it always has been, is entirely yours. If this exploration has sparked something within you, if you felt that familiar stirring of possibility and recognition, then you're already beginning to awaken the same forces that transformed a young woman from New York into one of the most influential artists of our time. Share this revelation with others who are ready to discover their own hidden potential, and let's build a community of individuals committed to conscious creation and purposeful achievement. The stage is set, the principles are revealed, and your transformation awaits. The only question is whether you're ready to step into the spotlight of your own extraordinary life.